Hello. Hello, my humans. Thought I had something in my teeth again. That's my MO. I clearly don't look at my teeth before I go live. Hi. Volume up today. Get comfortable. Very important things to speak about. So I'm going to have my water and we're going to dive in. If you pop on, let me know that you're here and say hello. If you are on the replay, say you're watching the replay, and let me know if you have any questions along the way. First things first, not this, first things first, 10-week one-on-one intensive is open, deep diving into freaking magic. If you feel called for that, send me a message. I'll speak more about it as I go too. But it's for those who are creating a life and a business they are wildly in love with and aren't willing to compromise anything to get what they want. Okay, so self-validation. This is something that comes up for generally everybody who I work with, who comes into my space. And had been a big challenge for me for a very long time. You got to give it to yourself. And you know what's so interesting is that there are going to be so many instances in your life that pop up that show you where you're seeking validation from other people. If you continually seek validation from other people, you are never going to be satisfied. Why? Because nobody is ever going to give you the level of acceptance, validation, accolades, excitement, celebration that you are able to give yourself. And I take this from my experience, especially with my mentors over the years, where all I wanted was for them to like my posts, to watch my stuff, to tell me I was doing awesome, to call me out and tell me how amazing I was. And there were even points where this actually happened, but it never did it, right? I still battled with that. It came out in my relationships, my intimate relationship. It came out even in the relationship with my kids, this desire to seek validation. Now, I'm going to frame this from a different angle where we've all been in our lives by society and just the way things have been like evolving in consciousness to prove ourselves to other people, to prove ourselves to the world around us, to prove that we are good, that we are worthy, that we are valuable, that we are amazing, that we are worth being here and being ourselves, right? There's always this, for most people, this blanket of I have to do to be able to receive. I have to do to be able to take up space. I have to do good, right? Let's make it even bigger. I have to do good. I have to do right in order to satisfy all the people around us. And this comes out in crazy ways, right? So if you've lived your life like this comes out in, mental illness. It comes out in disease through your body, right? Because of this constant looking outside of you at what other people are saying, how other people are reacting to you, and living your life based on that. And so what and my job and my expertise is to bring you back within, because you can't ever find satisfaction in anything, right? Not in the money, not in the new car, not in the house, not in the hot ass bod that you have, not in the relationship. You can't find that if you aren't fully validating yourself and enjoying the fuck out of who you are. So you need to be able to show up, validating yourself and knowing that you're worthy, tuning out everything that you've ever learned about proving it to this person, seeking validation from that person. And if you look around and if you are actually paying attention to your life, you're gonna notice like, oh my God, like I even noticed it before where I was like, oh my God, I want like this XYZ person to acknowledge the fact that I did XYZ. And I was like, wow, that is self-validation. Even if you bring people flowers and you're expecting them to say thank you and like gush over what you did, like that is seeking validation outside of yourself. And it's always going to be draining unless it's coming fully from within you. And so this is why I say, give yourself self-validation more than a daily breast exam, because I'm like, first of all, it's not just a daily practice. It is a moment by moment practice. If you are in this game, if you are in this for the benefit of your expansion, of your happiness, of your like feeling joy for your life, you're gonna want to check in every situation, in every moment. Where am I seeking validation? In business, am I looking for the likes? Am I looking for the comments? Am I looking for how many views this video gets? Where am I seeking it, right? And there's no bad or wrong around that. Like it just happens. It is our human nature to, right? To want to be with the tribe, to want to be loved, to not be exiled. It means our survival, like that survival part of your brain is then kicking in and is like, hey, whoa, back up. You can't fully be yourself because you will be abandoned. You're not going to get what you need. You're not going to get what you want. And you're going to be alone, right? Like that's people's biggest fear. Now, what happens if you actually become alone? Is that the worst freaking thing in the world? Many people make it that way. And it's not, again, bad or wrong because it's just a conditioning, right? You get to reprogram it. You have the opportunity to expand out of that, what you like typically do. And the more that you get into this work, this is what we do in my 10-week intensive container. Send me a message if you're interested, is looking at that shit head on and being like, okay, I see it for what it is. Now, how do I want to move forward, right? And that's where you get to step into your power of, oh my God, I've been giving this away for so long and now I get to bring it in and I get to validate myself. It's literally the most freeing thing ever because you're not constantly looking outside and being like, okay, my mom has to approve of me. My dad has to approve of me. My siblings have to approve of me. My husband, partner, wife need to approve of me. My children need to approve of me. I will tell you that I use my kids for the biggest practice in the world. Like total balls to the wall craziness. I actually hurt my calf in soccer on Monday night and I couldn't really walk. It actually ended up being my back, but I'm better. But the next day I was like still limping around and my youngest was like, he was like legit, like this was not fake. He was like, I really hope that you get better soon so that you can dance all crazy like you normally do. And I was just like, you see me, you're my people. But like, I don't do it for that reason. Like balls to the wall, like being myself, like, yeah, it still comes up. And this is it, right? You can give yourself self-validation all day long and your brain is still going to come up every single time that you expand, every single time that you ignore, and is going to say, you better pay attention to them. They're the ones that matter. They're the ones that need to validate you. And you have to cut that off, right? Like, and that's the work, right? Is understanding that that's just the voice. That's not who you actually are. It's that survival mechanism in your brain telling you to stay small, to stay stuck, to stay so that you don't ruffle any feathers, so that you don't end up alone, so that you don't end up unloved. All these things, right, that can impact so many parts of how you're showing up in the world, right? Because if you think that you need to satisfy everybody, right, this is the whole people pleaser like paradigm, you're never going to be able to fully express who you are. And then you just fucking slowly die inside. Not to be dramatic or anything. Do you like my little puffs? I never even brought attention to them. So it's a process and it's like, it's recognizing that it's a process and it's like my really big thing, like to ground into lately is like, and teaching this all over the interwebs and all with my clients and with myself is you get to accept where you are right now and know that it's the perfect launching point for where you're going, for what you want to do, where you want to be, who you want to be, and knowing that you are in control of that and that you are in command of that, right? We've been taught, right? So if you look at that big picture of society, like you've been taught to like give your power away, right? To all these people, to all these entities, to all these things, you know, to say like, validate me or make me feel worthy or tell me I'm doing a good job so that I can feel confident and I can feel powerful going forward. It doesn't work like that, right? It's like the money isn't going to do it either, right? And I'm not going to get into that now, but you get to have it, of course. But when you attach anything to it, meaning anything about who you are and your whole beingness, like it's not gonna do it. It's just not. Like the fucking Pope or whoever you think is Barack Obama, whoever, Beyonce, like whoever shows up in your sphere and you think is the shit and they tell you that you're amazing, if you don't believe that yourself, if you aren't in a constant state of telling yourself that you are fucking amazing and busting through any shadows that are telling you that it's different, it's not going to mean anything to you because you didn't give it to yourself. And that's the only place that you can lay and sit in your power is by giving it to yourself. And this is a foundational piece of creating anything. I don't care if you want a big promotion in your job. I don't care if you want to have babies. I don't care if you want the hot body. I don't care if you want the amazing sex life. You want the money, the business, whatever. It doesn't matter. This is foundational. This comes first. This is the work that I do with my clients, where we understand that it is our job to take up space, our job to break down the conditioning that I have to stay small, that I have to stay stuck, that I can't be and do and have all the things that I am meant for in my life, and mostly be who I am, fully expressed, fully standing in that truth and showing up powerfully for all of it, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly. It's all part of that human experience. But this is what we do in our 10-week intensive, one-on-one, 10 powerful calls, me in your pocket in Boxer, messenger app, like walking through this in your everyday life. Because a lot of people want to dive in and be like, okay, how do we fix this? And I'm like, we walk through life. We walk through life, arms locked, we're doing this. What triggers you? What's popping up? Where do you not feel seen and heard, right? Where do you not feel validated? And where do you get to pull that back in and understand that you are the only one that can ever give that to yourself, right? There's this illusion of confidence, and I need to have confidence to be able to do that. But confidence is just a choice of showing up and knowing that like you are the shit, right? That you are the one who gets to do this, and you are the one that powerfully gets to stand in who you are and tune out the world around you. Not in a negative way, but in a, I'm no longer serving you. I am now serving myself, right? And from that place, you get to serve so many more people, so much more goodness in the world, but like it's never going to happen if it comes from a place of seeking that validation outside of yourself. And so give yourself that daily breast exam on steroids all day, every day. Where am I seeking validation? Is this person not showing up the way I want them to? What did I expect them to do? Why? Generally, it will go back to because I want to feel valuable, because I want to feel worthy in who I am without any parameters, without the degrees, without the certifications, without the, I did this many hours of X, I did this many paintings of blah, blah, blah. You get it. It's like, it's exhausting, right? To constantly be looking outside, to constantly be measuring yourself against somebody else's standards, which are like always in flux and always moving and always, you know, just, you can't measure yourself off of that. You have to set the standard of measure for yourself and for who you are and let that be permanent, right? That is the permanent thing, right? That gets to stand always in your field, in everything that you do. And you always get to come back, right? It's not perfection. It's coming back and coming back. And that's why we do it with support, because I see your blind spots that you can't see, just like my mentor sees it for me. Having support in my life has changed everything for me. And I want you to have the same experience. So if you're ready to dive in, if you're ready to like truly be there for the work, to be there for what you want, right? And to actually let that stuff in, receive it all, then send me a message so we can talk about the magic that we can make when our arms are locked together. Okay, that is all for now. Go pay attention to your self-validation. Make it the number one thing that you are here for. Send me a message. Let's get into it and have a beautiful rest of your fabulous day. And I'll talk to you later.